What up, the world? Welcome to a brand new video. A little tip for you guys: don't wear sunglasses when you're inside. Just avoid it. So, brand new video. Well, mostly brand new. You could be watching this what would be the future for me, but it's brand new for me right now. So, new video, new topic. Hope you guys enjoyed the last two. I still am working on getting this thing figured out, but just give me a little bit of time. I'm obviously in a different room, so I'm working on some lighting and also different techniques to make this better. Alright, so new topic. Topic of today: why is there suffering? A common view on why there's suffering is because people would argue it's because God messed up. Does God mess up? Well, let's talk about it. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. You've probably heard this before a million times. He snaps his fingers and says, "Let there be light." He didn't actually snap his fingers, but I just like snapping my fingers. Let there be light. He creates the sea, he creates the land, he creates the atmosphere. Then there's fish, there's birds, there's other land animals. Then we get to the good stuff. God creates humans. Now, how God made us, and talking about God made us in His image, is a topic all by itself. Probably going to get into that in a different video, but that's not what we're talking about today. So, not to get sidetracked, God creates us. Have you ever thought, why did He create us in the first place? I've thought that plenty of times. Believe it or not, there's actually a very simple answer for that, and guess what? You're going to find it in the Bible. So, I actually forgot my Bible, but luckily the room I'm in has a million Bibles. We're gonna go with this one. I think it's NIV. Revelations 4:11 reads, "You are worthy, O Lord and God, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they were created and have their being." Basically, what's that? Basically, that is saying God created us for worship. Our purpose in life is to worship God. Obviously, not everybody's doing that, and you could argue most people are not doing that. Even a lot of Christians aren't doing that. So, we know that God created us because He wants us to worship Him. Now, God is mighty enough to create the universe. So, do you think that God could demand us to worship Him? I would say yes. If He wanted to, He could snap His fingers and make us worship Him. But why doesn't He do that? God doesn't make us worship Him because He wants us to have a relationship with Him. God wants us to pursue Him of our own free will and for us to love Him out of our own desires. This is where we get to, why is there suffering? God gets to the point where He's getting ready to make us, and He wants us to worship Him. He can either, 1, make us worship Him, 2, give us free will so that we can choose to worship Him. That is why there is suffering, because we have free will. Why is there suffering in the world? Because of us. Think about it like this. If someone was to come in this room and shoot me dead, whose fault is it? Is it God's fault? Now, some of you are just going to say, yeah, it's definitely God's fault. But I would argue it's not God's fault, it's the fault of the person who shot me dead. God made a perfect world, and He made us perfect. Everything was perfect. The Garden of Eden was without flaw. There's one problem. Perfection cannot exist with imperfection. When man sinned, we became imperfect. The world was designed to cater to perfection. That no longer described us. So, the world had to change. We tainted the world and made it the way it is today. What was once good, we made bad. Here's a scenario. You put two people together. You have a good person and a bad person. What normally happens? does the good person rub off on the bad person, and so now the bad person just does all the right things? Or is it normally the bad person rubbing off on the good person, and that good person starts to do things that are bad? Normally, we cater to wrong. Bad people rub off on good people more so than good people rub off on bad. That's the way we make it. They're suffering because we choose for there to be. Humans choose to use their free will to make things harder rather than easier. Humans choose to use their free will to make things worse rather than better. We suffer because that's the way we made it. All God has to do is let us do what we choose to do on our own. God doesn't create suffering. We do that all by ourselves. That's it for the video. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Maybe you thought I made some great points. Maybe you thought I didn't make some points at all. That's fine. I'm trying to keep these videos short for the most part. I can make them 30 minutes long, but that's why you go to church. Any questions? Comment below. Any concerns? If you want me to answer anything, I'll try to get to it and answer it the best I can. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't like it, I'd rather you just ignore the video, but you can give it a thumbs down if you want. Until next time, God bless. Peace!